Hey guys. So we have a jam-packed, super busy weekend of astrology leading us towards our new moon solar eclipse that is coming up next week. For starters, you guys, we have Venus moving into exact alignment with the sun on Friday. Now, this is going to be a Venus-Sun conjunction that is going to be carrying us through the course of the weekend. The exact to-the-minute CAZIMI moment alignment is going to be happening on Saturday. But on Friday, we have this alignment forming. So there is going to be a major light being shown on relationships, matters of the heart, things to do with value, worth, our relationship to our own self, our own sense of self-value and self-worth. These type of themes are likely to be very prominent this weekend, along with restoring balance, restoring justice, restoring harmony in one way or another. Moving into Saturday, this is actually a very, very beautiful day. I feel like we are likely to be really feeling very much so in alignment with our heart energy on Saturday. This is the exact Sun CAZIMI conjunction moment to the minute. This is illuminating and shining a major light on matters of the heart, okay? I feel like we're really going to be connecting with the truth of our heart and looking for resolutions in relationships in one way or another in order so that we can really begin to embody and experience what we're realizing we need on this very deep, true heart and soul level that is probably being exposed to us through whatever is going on Saturday. This is likely to be a really good day though, and it is very, very good energy for anything to do with relationships, anything to do with finances. Moving into the energy for Sunday, you guys, this is our Saturn direct day. Things that have been stuck, not moving, stagnant, anywhere where we feel like things have not been fair or where there's been some type of injustice going on. That type of stuff is likely about to get cleared up with this energy of Saturn stationing, and this is also indicating a time where we are going to start making some forward progress. Things are going to start moving forward. Things are going to begin to get unstuck. Lots to talk about today, you guys. So many different dimensions of energy that is playing out, preparing us for this new moon eclipse that is coming up next week. Let's get into this chart, you guys. Let's talk about this breakdown of energy, what's coming at us, and what we may be able to anticipate in our journey on the ground this weekend. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, October 21st, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the weekend. We're going to be talking about Friday the 21st, Saturday the 22nd, and Sunday the 23rd, if that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing in this report today. So we are going to start with the energy for Friday the 21st, like I said, and every single day this weekend. This is a huge energy weekend. We really are going towards this new moon eclipse that is coming up in the sign of Scorpio. It is with the South Node. This is a cycle of release that is actually leading to a new beginning in alignment with that which can reawaken our understanding of our value and our potential within us, okay? This is also going to be an eclipse that is eclipsing Venus, who is all the highlight, all the rave this weekend. The major light is shining on Venus this weekend, and that simultaneously is the energy that is also going to be eclipsed for this eclipse that is going to be taking us actually throughout the course of the next 6 months, because that is what eclipse windows generally affect, is 6-month periods of time. Actually, they're very much so related to a year and a half, an 18-month period, which is the time that it takes for the nodes to transit any specific polarity of signs. That's what brings us our eclipse seasons every year. And so it really is connected to all the eclipses that will happen along the Scorpio and Taurus axis. But right now, I feel like this is going to have a lot to do actually with what is going on in the energy today, tomorrow, Sunday. As we are having this CAZIMI, we are going to be discovering a lot, and I feel like that is going to be playing into what it is that we are releasing and also what we are being birthed into, essentially, moving into this eclipse. We've got some very life-changing type of stuff going on, and especially if you do have planets that are going to be specifically aspected by the degrees of the eclipse that we have coming up. But you guys, let's specifically more so talk about the energy that we have playing out for Friday, and really this weekend leading up to this eclipse, and actually, all eclipse season, we are really in some more fated, destined energy. Fated endings, fated beginnings, fated meetings and interactions, the hand of God really, really orchestrating what is at play in the energy field right now, bringing things together, separating things that are no longer serving their purpose, everything pushing us towards an ability and a situation that is supporting our alignment with our process of authentic growth and self-actualization right now. But we are just really in some heavy, like, fated energy over the course of this weekend. Now, Friday, it's very interesting because we are coming out of a very extended void of course moon energy. The moon was not making any aspects basically all day yesterday and moving into like a good halfway portion of the day today. The moon is in Virgo and will not be making any aspects Friday until it comes to the very mid-range degrees of Virgo and starts forming aspect to the nodes of the moon, which are responsible for our eclipses, right? Which is the energy that we are building into now as we are completing our Libra cycle and heading towards our Scorpio cycle, which will begin with this new moon eclipse that is going to be coming up in a couple of days on the 25th. But as we are building into that energy, we are in some very, I feel like, just divinely aligned times right now. Like when they talk about things happening in divine timing, like this would be one of those periods of time where there is just divine timing that is being indicated as a driver of events. And coming out of this void of course energy that we've been experiencing the past, 24, 36 hours, whatever it is or so, it may have felt like nothing was happening. We may have felt like we were in a bit of a void, like we were just sort of suspended animation in one way or another. But I do feel like with the energy today, on Friday, things should start falling into place, perhaps in some more like unexpected, like miraculous ways. There may be a little bit of like a magical feel to the things that are happening today. But it is likely to be actually providing some solutions and bringing us some ideas or some information to help us fix some root issues that may have been going on, specifically in the realms of relationships as well. This is a very, very, very relationship dominant energy that we have going on this weekend. Not only do we have a Sun-Venus CAZIMI going on, which is shining the full light, illuminating the planet that rules relationships and how we relate to others and how we relate to ourselves and what we value. It's also happening in the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus, right? And is really like emphasizing these relationship themes as well. So there is a huge prominence this weekend going on relationships, partnerships, agreements, financial issues, values, priorities, preferences, desires, that type of stuff, really honing in on like what the truth of that is, perhaps some type of an epiphany going on about something that we need to do in a relationship or gaining a greater understanding, a moment of clarity coming through. But definitely I feel like with what we have playing out in the energy for Friday, there's a major dimension of this Venus Sun conjunction and of this moon in trine to the North Node, also moving into the trine with Uranus as well, that is really trying to help us come up with some solutions about how to either detach ourselves from something in a way that restores a sense of peace, harmony, balance, to create some type of solution that restores justice to a situation where things maybe have been unfair in one way or another, or that really just helps us to unite with ourselves and our own self-worth and our own value and love ourselves from perhaps a much more elevated and transformed perspective. This is, because we have this Sun-Venus conjunction that is happening in the sign of Libra, putting this major emphasis on the heart, major emphasis on relationship, major emphasis on reciprocity, fairness, balance, values, money, and stuff like that as well. But this conjunction is also happening in both a square to Pluto, which we've been talking about over the course of the past couple days, and also a trine to Mars. So the square to Pluto with the Sun and Venus, this is showing us what we need to conquer. This is showing us where we've been surrendering our power. This has been putting us up against situations that make us feel some type of lack or void inside of us, or that we need to surrender our power to in order to receive some type of an external validation. And this is helping us to conquer and to overcome any void within us that may have put us in the position to surrender parts of ourselves or to surrender our power, and therefore to find ourselves in some uneven or unbalanced or unreciprocal relationship dynamics. It can create these toxic relationship dynamics. It can create various forms of addiction. This is what the Sun, Venus square Pluto energy is bringing into our experience. It's showing us the root problems and various dynamics and various relationship dynamics in our lives, either with the people around us or our environment or with ourselves. It's showing us what essentially has power and control over us that is keeping us from being able to really truly embrace our value and our worth, okay? But then when we have the trine to Mars coming in these air signs, this is this inspired like confidence and motivation and like drive and assertiveness coming through in this mental energy. This is that is helping us to rebalance any imbalances going on within us, for one, with the masculine and the feminine dynamic coming together in the trine. But it's also helping us to conquer and overcome through a greater realization or a greater understanding or some type of solution that is presenting itself in one way or another, or a shift in mindset or a shift in perspective, or more options or more ideas, or seeing other opportunities in some way or another, some type of mental reconfiguration that is going on, that is giving us the motivation and the courage and the assertiveness and the confidence and the willpower to overcome whatever obstacles or whatever problems are being presented in the context of this Pluto energy. So the Sun and Venus coming together in the square to Pluto, shining this truth on matters of the heart, what it is that our heart and soul truly desires. Square Pluto, where are we essentially blocking our own ability to receive that through surrendering our power out of any type of lack inside of us? And in the trine to Mars, what new perspective or what new idea or what mindset or what inspiration is coming to us now that is providing a solution, that is giving us the confidence to overcome essentially the weaknesses that we may have discovered within ourselves, that are helping us to come back into this fuller alignment with the truth of our heart. And then this is sort of creating this like ripple effect, okay, where we're going to have to start to make some physical, tangible changes in our relationship dynamics as a result of this process. And this is sort of the momentum that is building and where we are heading as we are going into this new moon in Scorpio that is eclipsing Venus, that is all about detaching from that which is no longer serving the truth of our heart, the gold in our heart, what is not making our heart shine, what is not bringing us to this place of Venus conjunct the Sun, this CAZIMI moment, this illuminated truth about our heart. Things that are not in alignment with that, I feel like that is what we are going to be detaching from, moving away from, surrendering, and allowing to just sort of exit our lives as we go into this new moon in Scorpio, South Node eclipse that is coming up as well. But the trine, I really feel like, and I've been talking about this in my videos over the past couple days, helping us to fix root issues, okay? Things that have been keeping us from being able to experience the relationship dynamics or the physical abundance, even too, with material abundance, talking about this Venus Libra energy that we deserve or that we desire as a result, again, of these Pluto issues, where we've been surrendering our power, where we haven't felt enough, where we felt weakened, or, that we need to give something away in order to receive some type of love. That is what we are transforming. That is what we are purging. That is what we are clearing out based on this illuminated understanding of what it is that we really need, what it is that we really desire. Transforming the nature of our relationships, cord cutting and detachment in relationships as well. And also with this warrior Mars energy in the trine and air signs, I feel like we are fighting for our worth and our value, and we are no longer willing to take it anymore. I feel like this is a period of time where people are leaving toxic relationships, ending addictions, like just sort of spontaneously kicking habits, bad habits that are no longer productive or benefiting or making us feel good about ourselves anymore. We are seeing what we deserve, and we are mentally detaching from relationships or situations that do not honor that anymore. I feel like that is the major point or the major theme that is coming through vibrationally in the energy for Friday. Speaking our mind, standing up for ourselves, asserting ourselves through words, okay? Mars in this mental energy in order to take back our power, embody our truth. This is what all the energy seems to be pointing towards is going to be organically happening as we head towards this release period coming up with this eclipse. Also, on Friday, as I said, we do have this moon in Virgo going to finally be making aspect to the North Node, which is the destiny point, which is the next phase of growth, the next lesson plan, the hand of God orchestrating things. And trines facilitate, trines assist, they help things fall into place. And this is also happening in earth signs. Moon in Virgo, and we have North Node and Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which is ruled by what planet, you guys? Which is ruled by Venus in the conjunction to the sun. So, Venus in conjunction to the sun in Libra, not only is this emphasizing these relationship themes, these relationship dynamics, these Libra archetypes and themes and expressions and stuff like that, but it's also very much so lighting up what is going on in the sign of Taurus, the North Node in Uranus, the great rectifier, the great awakener, and the hand of God, destiny, fate, things being put back in a proper alignment in a very divinely orchestrated way. And this could, again, Venus in the sun really waking us up to something. Uranus in the sign of Taurus. This could also be, this Venus-Sun conjunction could also be showing us the truth of our potential, the resources that we hold inside, the talents that we have. We could really be awakening to some latent, like creative talents or gifts or abilities, or getting some really inspired ideas about how we can use our own personal resources to stabilize our lives or to create balance in our material world in one way or another as well. The Taurus energy, North Node, Uranus very much being highlighted with Sun and Venus together, and the moon, Virgo forming the trine. These are earth signs. This is literally like, don't be surprised if there just seems to be some type of like divine intervention playing into your experience today, or if things are just like I said, like magically falling into place, or if it's just like this is happening in earth signs. So this is stuff tangibly, physically happening that is awakening us up on an emotional level, and that is like lighting up our heart. I feel like we're going to be feeling pretty good about ourselves this weekend. I feel like we're going to be feeling a very maybe a stronger, closer relationship to ourselves, and really taking a second look at what we've got inside and perhaps what we can do with that as we move towards this this eclipse that's coming up. But this moon also in the sign of Virgo, Mercury, fated conversations, fated encounters and events. If it is happening in the energy on Friday, let it happen. Don't try to, block anything that's happening. Take opportunities that come, have that conversation. Like if somebody approaches you, we want to not block the blessings that universe is trying to bring us in this energy. And if we do sort of allow whatever is happening to transpire today, it's looking like at least it will definitely work out in your best interest somehow. We are, as I said, we are stepping into our new shoes. It's like over this retrograde period and over this summer and all that's been going on over these past couple months with all these planets retrograde, it's like we've been like shopping, right? It's like we've been like picking something out and trying to decide like what we want now. And it's like now we've got our new shoes, we've figured out, what will suit us and what style we're looking for. And it's like now we're trying them on and then we're lacing them up. And as this new moon approaches, we are like getting ready to really like go for a run around and give them a try. We are, stepping into our new truth. And we have the Sabians really talking about what's going on in this energy today as well, the transition that's upon us, and this period of wisdom and growth actually that we are taking with us, or that is really inspiring us and giving us this new understanding, or just the experiences that we need to bridge us into this new reality that we are creating as we go through this paradigm shift. We have the Sun and Venus coming into a conjunction today at 29 degrees of Libra. That Sabian symbol is mankind's vast, enduring effort to reach for knowledge transferable from generation to generation. So to me, this is a lot about, we are bridging paradigms right now. We are transitioning from the old version of ourselves into this new, more conscious, awakened, and alignment with our personal truth version of ourselves. But I feel like this is talking about our ability to take not disregard everything from that past life, from that past version, to really as we're going through this Chiron hero's journey to really extract the wisdom from the experiences that we've gained and be able to apply them to this new reality that we are building, so that we can take the best out of what we've gleaned from the past and carry it with us as a foundation as we're laying, structuring, and reforming our future, with Saturn going direct in the sign of Aquarius this weekend. We also have the Earth on Friday at 29 degrees of Aries. That Sabian symbol, you guys, is the music of the spheres, which to me is talking about the symphony of the planets and their electromagnetic impact and the whole way that astrology works. I feel like, this is talking about these divine alignments that we have going on right now that are conducting the symphony that is underway today. And like I said, I feel like we are in this very fated, destined period of time right now. And I feel like the position of the Earth today, what's happening on the ground, is really describing and talking about this. And then we also have the position of Mars and Saturn that I want to talk about, because they're both, Mars is in the trine with the Sun and Venus, and then we have Saturn about to go direct. Mars right now is at the Sabian symbol 26 Gemini, winter frost in the woods, and this is the degree where he will retrograde. And then we have Saturn at 19 degrees of Aquarius, a forest fire quenched. So both Mars and Saturn are talking about like the forest and the woods, and these two very different dynamics though. And when we have this forest fire that is quenched, that is put out, but on the other hand, we have this winter frost in the woods. In one place we've been like being burned out, and in one place we're being like iced out. And I feel like these two planets at these two symbols talking about sort of the same themes but in different ways. I feel like ultimately it's sort of about like conquering our fears, and that really is what we are doing in this energy as well, as we are taking our power back, as we are recognizing the truth of our value, as we are taking back control, conscious control over the creation of our experiences, coming into this greater state of self-mastery in alignment with our authentic truth. And I also sort of feel like this is talking about like what was lost or destroyed in order to realign our path is now what will make us who we are to become going forward. It's like this forest fire quenched, yes, there may have been some loss, there may have been some things that just were destroyed or burned down to the ground, but where we're at now in this frost in the woods, it's like what was burned is coming down and nourishing the soil, and now we're in this winter period and this frost period, and there's so much that is going on under the surface of things, and the destruction is really fueling the new growth that will come with the spring, when Mars ends his retrograde period and starts heading out of Gemini. But I feel like this is generally talking about, we may have witnessed a lot of destruction happening in the external, but we may not so much be aware of all that is happening under the surface of things right now, because, winter frost in the woods, it really doesn't look like there's much happening, but underneath the surface, there is a whole process happening that is preparing for a new rebirth and a new phase of growth that comes with the spring. So I feel sort of like that's what the symbolism is indicating in terms of how this energy is playing out for us on Friday. So, overall on Friday, I do feel like this is a very fated day where there is a highlight shining on relationships, but also problem solving, and with the square, what we need to conquer in order to truly align our lives and our relationships in a way that is very fulfilling and serving like our true desires, and what we truly feel that is a reflection of us at this point in time, and what will truly give us that sense of fulfillment. As we are in this 222 year, you guys, we can't forget that this whole year, aside from our transition to the age of Aquarius and this paradigm shift, is really trying to help us realign our vibration in a way that can help us to magnetize and attract that which really fills us up on that soul level. 222. The numerology behind that. Let's talk about Saturday now, you guys. Saturday is a big day. It should be actually like a beautiful, lovely day. All of the best qualities of Venus highlighted, illuminated, lit on fire for the world to see. We all should be feeling like our best self, I feel like, in the energy on Saturday. Very just like open-hearted and generous and artistic and creative and beauty and design and love and romance. And, it also isn't really helping that we also have the moon starting starting the day on Saturday in an opposition to Neptune, which can also make us like very romanticizing things and very idealistic about things and very like fantasy, love, fantasy, romance. So we're likely to be like very, very much feeling very, very loving, very affectionate, big shows of affection and just heart space, pouring out love. That is something people may be really pouring their heart out in various ways in the energy on Saturday. We're really likely to gain some clarity about other people's feelings. If we've been wondering about something or questioning about something in regards of relationships or romantic relationships or even partnerships or financial stuff, friendships even, like people are just likely to be pouring their heart out and telling their truth and, you know, explaining what it is that's been on their heart, and we're just likely to gain some truth and some clarity about things that have been going on in love and relationships. So seeing and feeling the truth very much with the sun and Venus coming to the exact conjunction. Now, I've been talking about Venus combust, this energy when we have Venus in a conjunction to the sun that is not exact. The difference between Venus CAZIMI and Venus combust is the exactness of the conjunction. Venus CAZIMI is when they are to the minute. They are completely blended. Venus combust is when Venus is just lost in the rays of the sun, but it's not exact alignment. Well, Saturday, we have the exact alignment, and that really sort of like wipes the slate clean on the Venus combust energy while that exact alignment is happening. So, you know, this Venus Sun conjunction energy, a lot of times it seeks truth, okay? Like it's like a more scorpionic Venus vibe. Like it is pretty serious about authenticity in terms of the heart, like the deepest desires, like nothing frivolous, nothing surface value. Like this is not like just Venus combusts the sun. This is not, you know, necessarily like the social graces and like the gentleness and the purity and like the kindness and just like the more surface level Venus qualities. This is like the more primal feminine. This is like deep, passionate, powerful love, right? But it's not like, you know, like I said, the more like just like artsy beauty, like more dainty, like social relations, social graces type of energy that we get normally through the normal Venus energy. This is the deep, passionate, intense feminine energy. And because of that, a lot of times it can actually create problems in relationship dynamics because we are so connected to the truth of our heart and what we really desire. And we're not looking to sort of like smooth things over or appease things or with the more like surface level, surface value things just to keep the peace and just to keep the balance, like can happen with the more Libra vibes that Venus signifies and represents. And as a result of that, you know, we can experience more turbulent relationship dynamics when we have Venus conjunct the sun. This is not necessarily like the best for that type of thing because it is showing us the real truth about stuff. And, you know, the real truth about stuff a lot of times rocks the boat. And the more, like I'm calling them, I guess, like the more like surface layer qualities of Venus does not like to rock the boat. So that is kind of a difference when we have just a regular Venus and when we have a Venus combust. But when we are dealing with the Venus CAZIMI, the Venus conjunct the sun, this is all the Venus energy across the board that is just highlighted and illuminated, and it's showing us the truth and it's giving us an ability to relate, and it's, you know, it's just expounding and accentuating and highlighting and illuminating the entire spectrum, okay, of the Venus qualities, the Venus archetypes, the Venus energy, the feminine energy. So definite highlight on feminine energy today and everything that represents. This is likely to be a very social day. And again, we are likely to be just really in our heart space, affection, wanting to pour our love out, or, you know, again, gaining some type of clarity that has been lacking in regards to what's been going on in sort of matters of the heart. And not only that, like we really may feel like sort of it's all coming together, like things are all coming together. And as I've been saying, like we're finally figuring it out. We're finally seeing the light. And this is pushing us to transform on an emotional level through both release and regeneration, because aside from this Venus CAZIMI that we have going on Saturday, we also have the moon in the sign of Virgo. Like I said, at first it will be forming an opposition to Neptune, which is probably making us even more romanticizing, even more idealistic about, you know, the truth of our heart or whatever we're discovering. And again, this may not like specifically pertain to relationships. This could also be really seeing our own value, really seeing our own potential, really seeing like ourselves through a lens that really creates like a very strong level of self-love and self-value, and really helps us to activate or to begin to really tap or cultivate some of these gifts or some of these resources that we are discovering that we hold within us in a way that can be very, very productive and financially supportive as well going forward. But aside from the Venus CAZIMI, like I was saying, we do have this moon in Virgo forming the opposition to Neptune, but at the exact moment, okay, of the Venus CAZIMI, which I can get a moon degree today because we're looking at an exact moment, which I should say the exact moment of the Venus CAZIMI begins at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. So 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, and for a period of time after that, an hour or two after that, this is when we are really in this energy. So pay attention to what is happening to you around 4:30 p.m. Eastern time adjusted for wherever you are in the world on Saturday. And it is also happening at 30 degrees of Libra. I should say that too. Actually, 29 degrees and 24 minutes of Libra exactly, but we're going to be reading 30 degrees of Libra because we look at the Sabian symbols. So very, very last degrees of Libra, still in the sign of Libra, putting an even greater emphasis on these relationship dynamics right before, you guys, Venus and the Sun move together from Libra, Venus's sign, into the sign of Scorpio. Again, emphasizing this underworld Venus energy, okay? This Venus combust energy. So we are gaining some profound clarity about our value or what we desire or what we love or what's been going on, or, just really communicating our feelings or our affection in some way that is necessary and beneficial to our process of growth, or to rebalancing things for ourselves in one way or another. And then moving into Sunday, as I get into this energy, we are again going to be going really deeply down into the roots of our heart and aligning with that, moving forward towards the Scorpio cycle and this new moon that's coming up, which is going to be in the conjunction to Venus, getting ready to leave behind that which we've discovered is not supporting this new illumination of ourselves that we wish to take with us going forward. And with the moon in Virgo forming the trine to Pluto, this is priming us for this emotional release, purge, purification, transformation. We are ready. We are ready now, you guys, to embrace these big changes and to start making some serious plans as well. We also have Mercury in an exact trine to Saturn in the energy on Saturday, the day before Saturn stations direct. And this is also huge in the context of Venus Sun CAZIMI while we have the moon trining Pluto. So serious plans. We are also about to really start making some progress going forward. But Venus conjunct the Sun in Libra, relationships, worth, value, the major themes and highlights that we have going on Saturday. Pluto and Mars in the trine as well to this CAZIMI, right? This is what we've been talking about. No longer settling for less than we deserve or desire. The energy Friday is really setting us up to come to a point on Saturday where we're just like, nope, no more. This is no longer resonating with me and I'm heading in this new direction. And then, like I said, the moon in the trine to Pluto, feeling emotionally empowered to take our power back on an internal, very deep and psychic level within us as well. Detaching from toxic, unhealthy relationships, moon in Virgo, ruling what's healthy for us, what's good for us. Trining, facilitating the correspondence with Pluto, what we are detaching from, what is no longer serving our growth and potential, what we've been surrendering our power to, that has been stealing our growth and potential essentially as well. And then, like I said, Mercury in Libra forming a trine to Saturn in Aquarius the day before he stations to go direct. Grounded, practical plans, thoughts, strategies, solutions, you guys, to relationship problems that have a positive and productive outcome. And there may be positive and productive outcomes also to any difficult conversations that need to go on in this energy as well. Clarity, healing, release, transformation, self-empowerment, stabilization, planning, problem solving. all over the vibes coming through on Saturday. This is a very, very, very productive day in our pursuit of stepping into and embodying our new version of our authentic truth based on these newly rediscovered preferences and desires that we have going on. And we are coming to a point where it's like we're finally ready to do this. It's like, we've been fighting it maybe, or we've been knowing that we need to make these changes, but we didn't know how we were going to do it. Maybe we felt like it was too difficult and we couldn't overcome it. But for whatever reason, how things are lining up now, we are coming to a point where we are finally ready, feeling strong, feeling good enough about ourselves, feeling like we can do it, to start detaching ourselves from things that are, holding us to the life that we are trying to grow out of at this point in time right now. So that's really what I see coming through on Saturday. This is a very significant day. It's likely to be, like I said, a very positive day, even though we're realizing maybe that we are coming to the end of some roads that we've loved or that we've cared about or that have played a significant role in our lives up until this point. We are also realizing that we are, because of how we're feeling about ourselves now, because of what we deserve, because of what we're seeing within ourselves, because what we want to create with the potential that we are realizing exists within us. It's like that is more appealing to us now than maybe holding on to the things that we thought we needed in order to feel like ourselves, because we're realizing that that self that we were trying to maintain is really not who we're aligning with anymore anyways. So coming to the point, coming to the end, but in a way that feels really good to us, actually, for some reason in one way or another. Let's talk about the Sabian symbols for Saturday really quick. 30 degrees of Libra, where this CAZIMI is happening. What we're looking at, 3 mounds of knowledge on a philosopher's head. We also have the moon, 28 degrees of Virgo, for the exact CAZIMI moment. That Sabian symbol is a bald-headed man in uniform who has seized power. And then we also have Mercury at 19 degrees of Libra, a gang of robbers in hiding. So again, when I combine all these Sabian symbols for this energy that we have playing out for Saturday, I feel like, again, this is talking about 3 mounds of knowledge on the philosopher's head. Body, mind, and spirit, like united in a solidified understanding of what we want, what is going on. A gang of robbers in hiding, understanding who's been stealing our power, the position of the moon as well, a bald-headed man in uniform who has seized power, understanding who has been stealing our power or how we've been allowing our power to be stolen from us, where we've been surrendering it and putting an end to that. I feel like that is what is being essentially described by the specific position, degree placement of the planets in conjunction with the astrology or with the aspects themselves. 3 mounds of knowledge on the philosopher's head. It's like there's a mind, body, spirit alignment going on today with the truth of our heart. And maybe this is what is awakening us to that value, and therefore where we are no longer to surrender ourselves for some type of reason or allow our power to be stolen. The gang of robbers in hiding. Maybe we are discovering what has been stealing our power, what has been hidden from us, maybe that's been stealing our power, and we are taking it back. We are seizing it back. The bald-headed man, through this mental recognition of what we need to do at this point to restore our own sense of personal power. That's what I feel like it's talking about in the energy as it's playing out for Saturday, you guys. Let's talk about Sunday now. Another very big day. Saturn stationing direct. When a planet stations in the sky, its influence is magnified tremendously. So we are talking about some very not earth shattering. We're talking about like ground shaking Saturn going on. It could be earth shattering though as well, because Saturn is still in the square to Uranus, you guys. So this is definitely going to be putting an emphasis back on this Saturn square Uranus energy. Things that have been happening over the course of the past year and a half that have really been shaking our foundations and realigning our reality back under the spotlight with Saturn stationing direct in the sky, in the energy on Sunday. Now, on Sunday as well, we are going to have a moon transiting the sign of Libra. It's actually interesting. The moon will leave Virgo on Saturday and move into Libra just a few minutes after we have this CAZIMI moment. So the moon in Libra is actually going to be emphasized. It is all about relationships on Saturday. There's no way around that. But we are also dealing with a Libra moon on Sunday. as Saturn is stationing direct in Aquarius. And I feel like, again, Saturn stationing direct, and he's stationing direct at 19 degrees of Aquarius. That Sabian symbol is a forest fire quenched. I feel like this is talking about sort of like an end to the madness, or like an end to like whatever seems to have been like any destruction that may have been just like tearing through our lives or something like that, or anything that has been, again, we're talking about Saturn, karma, anything that has been like unfair, or where there's been malaligned justice, or where anything's been out of integrity or out of authenticity that has been causing any type of destruction in one way or another. I feel like this is talking about some type of end coming to this now. We are about to gain also a very clear vision and a very clear perspective on what to do next. When Saturn stations direct, we have the Sun and Venus moving together, right? On Sunday, the Sun and Venus leave the sign of Libra, move into the sign of Scorpio together, like I was just talking about, going back down into this underworld energy. But 1 degree of Scorpio, where they will be located on Sunday when Saturn stations direct, is a sightseeing bus filled with tourists. And then the position of the Earth, what's happening on the ground on Sunday for Saturn's stationing, is a clear mountain stream, while we have stationing at that degree, or Saturn at that degree, a forest fire quenched. So I feel like this is actually talking about an end to things that have perhaps been self-sabotaging or self-destructive or working against us in some type of a way, and a clear vision coming through and a clear perspective, an elevated perspective on what to do next. We have Saturn in Aquarius, okay, with the moon in Libra for Saturn stationing. We have Mercury in Libra forming almost an exact trine to Saturn. This is facilitated mental energy for solving problems, for making plans, for writing blueprints, for creating strategies for how to get ahead, for how to move forward. Saturn is also in that square to Uranus and will also be stationing in a slight trine to Mars as well. I feel like the Saturn stationing is the karmic clock that is like getting back on track, and justice restored, the scales rebalanced, karma served, putting things right, and things starting to move forward, progress happening now. Saturn, the Lord of Karma, the Lord of Time, happening just a day, 2 days before we have this new moon eclipse that is lining up with the South Node in the sign of Scorpio. Progress is ready to be made. We're ready to move forward with this rediscovered personal identity that we are stepping into right now. This is a mentally energizing aspect with Mars in the trine to Saturn as well, and we are inspired to create solid plans for the future. This is some master builder energy that we have coming through with Saturn's station, and Saturn in Aquarius, laying new foundations to carry us forward in a long-term way, successful way, going into the future, in alignment though with our authentic truth. This is like really talking about all of the personal truth that we have come to recognize and discover over the course of this extreme retrograde period. Now that we have Saturn about to station direct, we are about to start really embodying that and rearranging and restructuring our lives, laying new foundations in a way that is reflective of this internal restructuring that has gone on over this period of time. We are about to start moving forward. We are about to take these next steps. And I said, like, these new shoes that we have picked out for ourselves. And also, though, this is something to keep in mind. Yes, we do have this energy that is going to start moving us forward. However, I feel that this process of moving forward is actually going to have us going back and redoing some things, rearranging some various aspects of our lives, because while we have this energy, this direct energy, this Saturn energy that is moving us forward, and we have other planets that are going to be going direct soon too, we are getting out of this retrograde energy, we do have Mars about to station retrograde. So while the other energy is coming direct and trying to move things forward, our action, what we're doing, is about to backtrack, is about to have to, redo some things. So we are approaching a period, I feel like, where we are starting to gain a clearer vision of what we've built in our lives at this point in time, where they are not a match for us, where they need to be redone or reconstructed in a way that makes them a representation and an embodiment of that which we are stepping into now. So we are about to start moving forward, but it's going to have, I feel like, a lot to do with rearranging some of the things that that we've set up in our lives so far. We are figuring out now how to adjust what we've already done to make us freer and to make us feel more fulfilled and more alignment with in alignment with our true purpose. Going somewhere new, being guided by an elevated perspective is also the memo that I feel like is sort of coming through via the position of the Sabians today as well. Like a sightseeing bus filled with tourists. We are going somewhere new, somewhere we've never been before, but we are gaining this awareness. We've been observing things for a while. We've been really taking things into consideration and going through these adjustments, going somewhere new, being guided by an elevated perspective, the clear mountain stream, the streams of consciousness, these clear flowing streams of consciousness, but coming from this more elevated level. So that's what we got, guys. That's what I feel like is playing out. That's what I think is going on this weekend. That was a lot of information. I'm sorry if that was like just rapid fire stuff. I hope it wasn't like too confusing or all over the place. It was just a lot of information. We've got a lot playing out over the course of this weekend. I do, like I said, like I think it's going to be a good weekend. Like, I don't think this is going to be energy where we're like, you know, really going through it this weekend or anything. I feel like we're going to be feeling good about ourselves. Like, I feel like we're going to be, but it's good about ourselves. It's like I said, like, I feel like we're really going to be seeing our worth, really seeing our value and coming to a point where you're like, you know what, like, this is who I am now. And this is my value. This is what I bring to the table. This is how I see myself. This is how I feel about myself. And if you are not a reflection of that, like if you are not going to support that, like if you are going to try to pull me out of that alignment, you're not worth my time and energy anymore. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't care, you know, like what the past necessarily is, or like how long we've been together. Like if you're not on board to help support my process of growth at this time, where I am on board to help support your process of growth, maybe, then like we have no further path together, and I'm going to put on my shoes and run in that direction. You know what I mean? Like, that is sort of what I feel like is coming through, but it's like we're not grieving it the way that we may have thought that we would. We're actually feeling freed by it. We're actually feeling positive about it. We're actually in some ways feeling very proud of ourselves for having been able to come to this point that we can actually detach in this way or move on in this way, which again is reinforcing the relationship to ourselves and our own value, because we're like, not only did I recognize my own value, but I also had the strength to put myself first in a situation where I may have surrendered my power before. And as a result of that, I'm also feeling even more connected to my own truth and my own value and my own worth. So it's sort of like creating this positive feedback loop, this self-perpetuating cycle of self-value, self-worth that we are validating through acting out in regards of that self-value and that self-worth. So I feel like this is very positive energy that we have coming through this weekend. I feel like we are going to be gaining a lot of insight perhaps as well in regards to relationship things, problem solving, solutions, huge coming through this weekend as well. But overall, it is moving us to a point where we are going to begin a new journey relating to our own self, relating to our own heart going forward. Of course, in our transition of ages right now on this hero's journey, in this process of self-actualization, we are really refining and simplifying and reconnecting to our truth and being inspired by that, and therefore detaching from what would seek to disempower those aspects of ourselves that are emerging at this point in time. So that's what we got, you guys. We are not doing tarot today because there's just so much information that had to come out in the terms of the astrology. But let's draw a synchronicity card. One message, God, Spirit, Universe. What do we need to know? What should we keep in mind throughout the course of this weekend? What would benefit us as we are going through this period of time? And we actually got two, so we're going to read both of them. It says, go for it and drink of inspiration. And I do feel like, you know, very, very on point with what we've got coming through. Go for it. So he, leaping up, stood. Acts 3:8. Take a leap of faith. Go for it. Take the chance and leap. You will find God is lifting you over the chasm and you are flying. If you do not have that faith, then find a bridge or teach yourself to have the faith. Nothing is impossible. So we are going for it this weekend, you guys. And I do feel like that. That's what I was saying. I do feel like that is what we're doing in the energy this weekend. And then drink of inspiration, absolutely. Is cold water to a weary soul, so is good news from a far country. Proverbs 25:25. You thirst spiritually when you lack joy, peace, inspiration, and confidence. Claim the living waters of the Almighty flow through you as wisdom, truth, and beauty, and joy, harmony, power, and love. Accept this all as your own, and then you will draw from your spiritual waters all you need to give sustenance to your soul. And like, I feel like that is what we're doing this weekend. Like, that is how we're feeling. We are aligning with the drink of inspiration that we are finding within the depths of our soul, and it is filling us up. And as a result, we no longer have an empty cup that we feel like we need to accept breadcrumbs. So we are ready to detach ourselves from those situations. So that's what I have to say today, guys. Message from the stars, synchronicity guidance from God, Spirit, Universe. I hope you guys liked it. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you a little bit of whatever you're needing on your journey through life this weekend. If you guys did like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below, you guys. It will take you just a second, and it really helps my channel grow. I'm very grateful for all of those of you who have and who do. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff in my description box below. If you're into any of that, leave me comments as well, you guys. I really, truly appreciate your comments and your feedback and knowing how these energies are affecting you. I'm so grateful for all of you that are here on this journey with me, and share it with your friends also if you think that they would find this information entertaining or useful, you guys. So that's what I have to say. Come back with me next week. I'm not going to put out a video for Monday. There is not too much happening Monday. We are kind of still in this energy. The energy that I've been talking about for the weekend really still stands on Monday. On Tuesday, the 25th, I'm going to have a big video coming out for this new moon solar eclipse. So be ready for that. That will be my next video, and you don't want to miss it. I will be here. You should be here too. And I will see you then, everybody. Have a beautiful weekend, and I feel quite sure that you will. And until next time, bye guys.